There are some pretty cool things that you can do with the newly earned Atlantis episode 3 gear, things you might not have thought about at first. So I wanted to highlight it in this video. Would be awesome if you could leave a like on the video as it shows your support, and let's go. Before we get into it, I want to tell you about an awesome new story I made in the Amino app. It's all about the new Assassin's Creed and the top 5 rumors that are going around and that I think are likely true. So totally go download the Amino app via the special link in the video description, then search for my Amino ID. It is just JorRaptor, so easy as that. Follow me and then you can easily watch the new story, and also check out my previous story, by the way, about my favorite enhanced abilities from the Atlantis DLC. There are also more creators making stories about Assassin's Creed that you can give a watch. So again, totally download Amino via the link in the video description. Check out my profile, follow me there, and then check out my new story about the next Assassin's Creed and the top 5 rumors. Thanks to Amino for sponsoring the video, it really helps the channel out, and now let's get back into it. Okay, I want to start with a fun one that a lot of you reached out about in the comments of some of my recent videos. We of course got the awesome new staff in the third episode that has you knock down enemies instead of killing them, and that goes very well with the new mace that you can forge that lets your warrior damage go to other enemies on a basic hit. The thing is that you can namely hit the enemies that are on the floor and have the damage go to the other targets. And those enemies that are on the floor will not die if you use the staff. So you can totally cheat the enemies with shields, for example, that would normally block your regular attacks. Well, now they take damage if you just hit the downed enemies that are on the floor. And the longer you do this tactic, the more bodies will drop on the floor. So then you can just freely swing your weapon around and have all the enemies nearby take damage. Oh, and you then, by the way, also get health back from the damage dealt restored as health, mastery level, or engraving. It's really good. Still nice to pop the Ares' Lost Breath sometimes though, so you don't have to worry about the incoming attacks that do reach you. So you can just focus on hitting that basic attack button on the downed enemies, so you have that red circle appear over and over again. And sometimes just start the fight already by knocking down an enemy or doing the overpower attack from the staff helps a lot to already have some bodies on the ground. And if you have enough of these bodies and at one point you want to kill the enemies of course to get the XP, then just switch to your mace and just swing it around, do one hit, and you kill them all in one go. This tactic is just a lot of fun to use and also great with the new Wrath of Ares skill, so you can just easily keep hitting the enemies while they are slowed down. Add the Izu enhanced ability or the Blessing of Kronos to that, and you got this huge lightsaber style weapon that can easily hit the enemies around you. And I love this combo with a heavy blunt weapon as well, like then you also really have this huge sort of lightsaber, swinging it around, dealing good damage to all the enemies nearby. And you can enhance this damage even further with the perk from the Forged Spear from the third episode. This perk is especially nice for builds like the 100% crit chance build that I use a lot, because that one is focused on assassin damage, while I still tend to do a ton of warrior hits and sometimes use my bow. So what this perk basically does is it gives the other two playstyles that you focus on an insane boost in damage while you are not wearing gear for that playstyle. So say you have a ton of assassin damage in a build and use the 50% assassin damage convert to all damage, then you really increase your hunter and warrior damage. Like for me, first I had 162% warrior damage, 142% assassin damage, and 40% hunter damage without this perk engraved, and this on my 100% crit chance build. So gear pieces really focused on the assassin damage. So if I then put the 50% assassin damage convert to all damage engraving on this build, then it suddenly goes from 162% to 233% warrior damage and 111 hunter damage up from the 40%. While the assassin damage stays the same at 142%, like that is not impacted by this perk at all. And you can even increase the bonus for the other two playstyles even more the moment I add extra assassin damage on any gear piece. Because the more assassin damage I have, the more the 50% assassin damage that converts to the all damage is, obviously. I did not really toy around with this perk too much when I got it on the Ubisoft build to play the DLC early, but you really see insane increases on level level 99 and having the level 10 perks. So totally put it on your warrior, assassin or hunter set so that you also have some nice extra damage with the other playstyles. It makes you a more balanced player, like you don't need to put warrior damage now on an assassin build because you automatically get extra warrior damage when you equip assassin gear. It gets even crazier when you equip the Blade of Yumminess or that perk that gives you 250% all damage, so it already lifts everything up. So on my full warrior set with the Dikasti's legendary armor, I already get 465% warrior damage, 315 assassin damage and 290 hunter damage. If I then equip the perk from this spear, but this time the 50% warrior damage converts to all damage because I'm now wearing a full warrior set, then I get an almost 110% increase in assassin damage and also in hunter damage. So then you're basically a balanced powerhouse. Love this comment from Unity Consciousness, who did something similar, adding the weapon damage becomes fire damage on the Blade of Yumminess, and he used the Cursed Bow of Hades so that other enemies burn too. You obviously cannot use abilities when you have the extra 250% all damage active from the Blade of Yumminess, so now that weapon damage becomes fire damage finally has a use as well. Combine it with the mace from the third episode, applying the damage to other enemies, and also the ISO enhanced set bonus from the Dikasti set, and you still benefit from perks that would normally be caused by abilities, even if you cannot use abilities. Do a lot of melee resistance on the Dikasti set as well, and you're pretty much unstoppable. Of course, I'm curious to hear your tactics as well, so let me know in the comments down below. Subscribe for way more on Assassin's Creed Odyssey, like this video to support the channel, and again, check me out on Amino, follow me there, and check out that story about some rumors regarding the new AC. Link is in the description. For now though, I will speak to you next time, and goodbye.